The Fall Guy, directed by David Leitch and written by Drew Pearce, is an action comedy where recent Academy Award winner Ryan Gosling plays Colt, an action movie stuntman who gets caught up in a real action story while trying to win back the love of his life, Jody, played by the amazing Emily Blunt.
And today on Boltage Bros podcast, we're going to talk about our likes, our dislikes, hypes, and gripes. And if you've seen the movie, there's plenty of spoilers, so join in in the comments below your thoughts on the movie as well. Because there will be plenty of spoilers.
So, Kenny, I need your help.
Okay.
I need your help liking this movie.
Liking it?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because...
you didn't like it.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
I got out. I liked it. But then I didn't really like it.
Okay.
And then, you know when you don't like something, you just start thinking about all the negative things about it?
Right.
So that's what happened to me.
You went in a spiral.
Yes.
Yeah.
I spiraled down into a hole where I didn't like this movie.
Right.
But I know that it's good deep down.
Good.
But there were so many things I ended up writing where you would think that I don't like this movie. So I need your help liking it.
Interesting. So we're starting with the likes then? We're starting with my likes.
Sure.
We'll start with my likes, see what it makes you think.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll move to your dislikes, and I'll see if I agree. My main like, you wrote in the intro, the amazing Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Right? I would add in there the amazing Ryan Gosling. They carried the movie, right? Not that the movie was bad, but if it was bad, I would still watch it because they're both in it, right? They were perfectly casted. Ryan Gosling was just himself, basically, is what it felt like. I don't really know what he's like in real life, but that's what I imagine because he's hot, right?
So that can be himself.
Right, so he's charming and whatnot. So it just felt like he was playing himself. And Emily Blunt was perfect at her role as well. She felt like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. She was just great, right? Which we wouldn't necessarily expect because every other movie she's done is different. It's quite different. And yet she did it effortlessly. It felt natural.
Yeah. She's amazing, and that was actually one of the things I started to dislike about it was the fact that Ryan Gosling was very, very chill.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything that really stood out for him in this acting during the movie, unless there was some really good writing.
That's true.
So there was a couple lines in the movie that had some really good writing, and that's when he could shine through. But for the most part, there wasn't anything that you would remember that, oh, he was really good when he did this line or did this scene. It was all very chill for him.
Yeah.
With
like his script and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed like it was very chill for him.
Right.
Which is fine, but not too crazy. On the other hand, you have Emily Blunt, who it's not chill for her because she can be so different in so many movies. Like Ryan Gosling fits the role so well because it's himself. He can be himself.
Right.
And then Emily Blunt, it fits the role so well for her because I think any role will fit her so well.
Yeah.
because of the talent that she has, So one of my favorite movies is Edge of Tomorrow, and where she plays an action star, a rough action hero. And then one of my other favorite movies is A Quiet Place, where she plays a soft mom. And then she plays in the new Mary Poppins, where she's all crazy and dancy. And so, and then this one, she just looked young. It's like, wait, how? You're not young, I don't think, but the way she's acting works really well for this. She just acts like a teenager.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool seeing that different range.
Yeah.
I kind of like how you brought up too, Ryan Gosling is more chill and everything. And now that you mention it, it made me kind of think back and realize he doesn't really have an emotional roller coaster. he's, like you said, just chill,
Mhm.
right? The only spot I can think of is after he saw the dead body and he was in the car, and it's like, I'm gonna call the cops. But even that wasn't that crazy. You know, you do remember the scene,
I do remember it,
right?
but yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh.
then that, and maybe when he's like telling you the truth about why you left or something at the very end of the movie.
Mhm.
That's it. And Emily Blunt, though, and her character, what's her character's name?
Jody.
Jody, right? She is all over the place the whole movie, right? Sometimes she's pretty chill and straightforward. Sometimes she's really strict, like when she's being a director.
Mhm.
Sometimes she's breaking down or confessing her love or things like that, right?
Yeah.
It's all over the place, which is cool to see,
Mhm.
right? But Ryan Gosling, as you said, is just Colt. It's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So even though there's a difference in the acting style that they gave, Ryan Gosling still gives the perfect performance for it, but it's not something that's going to be extremely memorable.
Right. He did exactly what they told him to do.
Yeah.
Right. Which wasn't anything amazing.
They're kind of like, whoever's making the movie is like, guys, what if we had Ryan Gosling play this character?
Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
like,
right.
It's made for him,
Which is true.
Yeah.
It's accurate. But imagine if you had, like, I don't know, who's the total opposite of Ryan Gosling?
Well, I mean, Jason Momoa.
Sure, kind of. That's true.
Which is, I think, why they
right, they
had that at the end.
Right. So that, yeah, exactly. As opposed to if they put him in there and then Jason Momoa acted it perfectly, you would be more, are you saying you would be more into the movie?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
If Jason Momoa acted it exactly how Ryan Gosling did.
That would be strange. I don't know.
Okay.
It'd be hard to imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yes.
Yes.
So, yes.
Right. So it would be amazing. So I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just made for him.
As for the couple of lines that did stand out,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, for me, well, here's the two lines that stood out to me that I liked a lot. What were the one where Emily Blunt, Jody, was making him go through the fire and get shot against the rocks over and over again, and he has the line where he says, where where you're thinking about doing something for a long time and it's really important, so you want to think about it for a long time, but then you end up thinking about it too long and the time's passed.
It's been too late.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really good line.
Yeah.
So he did awesome in that one, but it was just really good writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the climax where he's going to run the boat into the other boat, and he has that monologue where he talks about
you feel like he didn't deserve to be there, I guess.
Where he talks about how he had been succeeding his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy for him to be the fall guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he actually did fail and he did get hurt, that was a surprise to him. Right. And so that's what made his life crumble.
Right.
It wasn't written very specifically like that, but that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
And
well, he said, I realized I wasn't invincible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a really relatable thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is some good writing there as well in the movie. Right. It's pretty relatable to, grow up as thinking that you're invincible, and then when you get out in the real world and something happens, it can break you down for a while until you have to realize and reset and look at the world in a completely different way. And it's good. Yeah. Good writing.
Yeah, it is good writing. I think kind of to transition, I guess.
Okay.
With Ryan Gosling too. I felt like some of his well-written things were the comedic aspect of his writing.
Of the writing of the movie?
Right. Especially for him. I felt like it was well-timed, well-placed. It fit the movie within the realms of reality. Does that make sense?
The comedy?
Yeah. It didn't feel unnatural, or like something that wouldn't be said. Usually.
Yeah, even though it was a little bit wild.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The way that I described the comedy was silly comedy, not necessarily smart comedy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit slapstick at times.
Right.
And then
It's true.
it's kind of people having fun together vibe.
Yeah.
There wasn't really anything that was super smart,
Right.
I would say.
Yeah.
And
It's
even,
straightforward.
And even the lines where they were trying to be smart, they had to explain it.
Yeah.
So when there was movie quotes, his friend would quote him movie quotes, and then he would have to give the answer.
Right.
So
Fast and Furious.
Right. So because we're not going to know every quote that they write into there.
Yeah.
So they have to let us know that that's what's happening.
Yeah. I do wish they didn't, because I feel like half the aspect is figuring that out.
Yeah.
You know, if they didn't explain it, because then you figure out that quote, and then it's so much better because it's from this. Oh, that's funny. Right.
And we talked about that in The Boss Baby, when the climax happens and you don't have to explain what went on.
Right.
But this is an adult movie, and they do have to explain sometimes what's happening.
Right.
So, for example, at the end, when the evil director and the evil actor are in a helicopter,
yeah,
they grab the recording and they're constantly reminding the audience that this is the recording. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what's that? It's the recording. And, you know?
Like,
and then
we know.
And then it's like, and then he's gonna shoot Ryan Gosling, and he's like, he's the best stuntman I ever had.
Yeah.
You don't need to say those things out loud. You just need to have the thing, him hesitate,
right,
and that's
have
it.
him act.
Yeah.
Right. Or even when it was empty, and she was pointing it at him.
Oh yeah.
And he had to go, It's empty. It's like, you could have just had her shoot it. Like,
yeah.
Just let her shoot it. I want to see that and see her surprise instead of explaining it.
Yeah. Another one was the deep fake.
Yeah.
What's a deep fake? Oh, they're all over the internet now. It's like, okay,
we know.
Don't need to explain everything that's going on.
And even trying to connect it to the beginning, when he first was scanned. That's when we did it there. It's like, we could have made that connection on our own.
Right? I probably couldn't have, honestly, but
no.
But
I remembered that part.
Oh, nice. There you go then. Yeah. So there was a little bit of that where some lines didn't need to be said, and it made it feel a little more young. I would say.
Yeah, I think one of my dislikes was kind of basically what this is. It kind of felt like a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Right, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it felt like just a movie that Netflix would pump out and put on there, like a Netflix original, you know, which is fine.
Yeah.
The movies are fun to watch, but they're just fun to watch. They're not like anything you're going to remember for the rest of the time. Like.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're kind of going down the dislikes route now. We're spiraling.
Should we circle back for a little bit, or just go down?
Let me get this one other thought, and then maybe if you want to throw in something else.
Okay.
So, still going kind of with the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it did feel young because they had jokes about autocorrect.
Right.
And unsubscribing, you know? She's like, unsubscribe.
Yeah.
You know? And then there was an autocorrect joke where it's sent wrong. Mm-hmm. And then while I was watching it, I was like, does that actually autocorrect to duck? You know? Does the F word actually autocorrect?
Yeah.
So I tested it.
Oh.
And on my phone, it autocorrects to luck. So
okay.
I was like, that doesn't happen. No way that happens. So, but apparently it does.
Yeah.
So autocorrect does suck. Either. But I feel like the autocorrect was kind of an old joke. Yeah. So like I've seen that lots of times. Right. Kind of like when the internet first started.
Yeah.
So
it's an old joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I guess before we go too far down the hole,
okay,
and can't come back out, I'll say one more thing that I did like was mostly, this isn't without little stipulations here and there, and I'll talk about a dislike, I guess, that kind of contradicts what I'm about to say. But a like I had was that it felt natural, a natural progression throughout the movie. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel slow.
Yeah.
It was perfect. You're entertained the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You never felt like it was too fast, or you missed something, or you're confused, or suddenly you're at the end of the movie and you don't know what happened, or when is the ending going to come?
Yeah.
Right? You knew when it was going to come, but it felt like the right time.
Yeah.
It didn't feel too long. It didn't take too long in the climax. It felt good. Right? That's the one thing I liked. Now, my little stipulation, I guess, would be when he broke his back, and then suddenly it's like a year later. I don't know. It's been a year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly he's apparently afraid to do stunts again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then he just does it. And then it's fine from there on out.
Mm-hmm.
That felt a little rushed to me because it was it was a year of his life.
Getting back into the stunts.
Right. He should be traumatized. He was. That's what he explains, right? That's why Jody left. Jody tried to be there for him, but he felt useless and depressed and, couldn't do anything. He was out of it. And then he's like, oh, Jody wants you here. Oh, okay, now I'll come, suddenly. And then he comes, and then the dude's like, oh, we're just doing a roll. And he acts all surprised, and then he just does it.
Yeah.
Then he just does it.
He does hit the camera, though.
Yeah, he hits the camera, but that wasn't even a problem. They didn't even talk about it. She just said, you hit the camera, and he said, I'm a little rusty. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that is a trope in movies that I don't like, where the main character is the best,
Right.
It's like, he's the best stuntman,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Why? Because he's the best,
Yeah, that's it.
so they do that in movies all the time.
Right.
It's like, we need a pilot. I know a pilot.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Right.
Why? Because he's the best,
He's so good.
Yeah.
And then when she asked, you can't get, or anyone but him, and he's like, there is no one but him. It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, explain why you want him.
Yeah.
Right. There's definitely other stuntmen who can do what he can do.
He's the best.
Right, but he's just the best.
Yeah. I love that so
Yeah.
much and hate it at the same time.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's captivating to an audience at first,
Mhm.
but then it gets a little dull, because what we want is to see someone who's the best, but then there's no arc in that. Right?
Yeah.
So,
He does need to fail.
right. Exactly. And so it's captivating at first because it's someone we can look up to, but
Mhm.
don't actually it's not entertaining.
Yeah, but even Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible movies,
Mm-hmm.
he's the best.
Yeah, but you know why?
And
You see
he
it.
fails a lot.
Right.
Even though he's the best.
Right.
He makes a lot of mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
which is what makes that interesting.
Exactly.
So
Right.
I guess possibly the movie was missing that in this one, The Fall Guy.
Yeah,
of
I agree.
But he did have that impending failure of the relationship the whole time,
Mhm.
which that's what pushed the movie along.
Yeah.
Instead of him trying to be a better stunt guy,
Mhm.
that I guess they didn't really need that plot compared to the plot of trying to win back Jody.
Right, that was the main point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, you mentioned it. They just kind of threw in, he's the best stuntman I've ever had.
Yeah.
Right. Why?
And you were
Why
trying-
is he any different than the rest?
And you're just trying to kill him beforehand.
Right. Yeah, you just tried to.
And you did kill someone
Right.
on accident, but still.
Still. So I don't. It just is kind of out of nowhere. We just don't know why, but it's fine. It's still a good movie. But.
There was one part of the movie where I was getting really excited
Mm-hmm.
for them to do something, and they didn't do it,
What was
which
it?
made me disappointed. They almost did it exactly how I wanted it to be,
Uh-huh.
but they did it differently. So, at the end when he is going to jump out of the helicopter and fall,
Yeah.
be the fall guy.
Yeah.
And so they have the scene at the start where he's falling and he's flailing like this.
Yep.
He's doing his acting thing, falling, and the camera's right on him like that. So I was hoping that they would do exactly that.
Yeah, for some parallelism.
slow motion, like
Mhm.
he's falling, and with the exact same shot of him right on him.
Right.
But then it was from the perspective of Jody instead.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh man, Missed opportunity.
I know. I do. One thing I thought of similar to that was I wish they did that, and that he didn't know that the cushion was there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right, because in the beginning he fell and broke his back. Not his choice. Accidents happen. That sucks.
Yeah.
Right? I wish at the end they did the same camera view and everything, but he chose to fall, right? And he's expecting to get hurt again. But this time, it's his choice or something like that.
That sounds like it would be hard to set up, but a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
He also already kind of had that sacrifice moment with the boat,
Yeah.
which was
It wasn't really that big, though.
Yeah.
As soon as it blew up, you're like, yeah, he's fine. We already know he's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
and there was no reason to sacrifice anyway. What was he sacrificing?
yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
He could have just hid. I don't know.
Yeah. But he needed to have the Jason Bourne swim away.
Yeah, you're right.
So.
And then I think he was wet too, and his muscles are showing. They had to have a
go.
scene like that. So.
Yeah.
What else? Let's go into the whole. What did you not like?
I've been saying
all?
that the whole time.
I have some more.
Okay. I need to come up with some likes now.
Okay, you start.
Oh no. You go first.
Okay.
While I look up something.
Okay. The twist, which was Gale being the orchestrator of this whole thing, trying to set up Colt, was a little too easy in my mind.
What was too easy?
Too predictable.
Okay, yeah.
And I just felt like there should have been another layer, and I don't know what the other layer should have been, because if you're really watching the movie and you're looking for a twist, you can figure it out pretty early that he's being set up or something, right? Because there's no way she just doesn't want to call the cops. Like,
we could have figured it out early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just was a little too easy. I felt like there could have been a little more, just a little deeper, something. Maybe go crazy and make Jody the bad guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that as well, because you know that it's going to be Gale, and I was just looking up her name, it's Hannah Waddingham, the actor. She
did great.
She plays in Ted Lasso.
I haven't seen it.
That's what I've seen her in before, and she's really good. And she was really good in this one as well. And it is very predictable, and if they had another plot twist to go along with it, it could have made it more fun.
Right.
But
make it deeper than Gale.
You're right. My wife asked me afterwards, how early did you know that it was Gale, that she was the bad guy? And I couldn't exactly remember when, but I just said when she called him and asked him to come over and switch him, like the very beginning of the movie. Yeah. Like there wasn't a point where I remember it clicking. You just kind of know that this is going to go this way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there has to be something else to it. He's not just missing. Like, he's not just deciding not to come to work.
Yeah. I wrote, it's a solid ABC movie where it's like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Right. Like they even reference, I don't know how Act 3 is going to go still, So they're just following that structure, and it's a structure that works. And
it's fine. You
watch it once and you love Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. Yep. And Emily Blunt.
Yep.
Did you find a like?
No. I just found her name.
Oh, okay.
So.
Was that your like, that she was a good actor?
Yep.
Okay. She was pretty good.
I love everyone in this.
Yeah. They all did pretty good. I think that was all my dislikes, because I already talked about how he jumped into it too easy. Just back into the job and the role.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
If you were a stuntman, who would you stunt act for?
Who would I stunt act for?
Who do you look like? Enough to be a stunt actor for them.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Because you're the same, okay?
I don't know.
All right. Let us know in the comments if Kenny looks like Daniel Radcliffe.
Do I look like Daniel Radcliffe? What about you?
I don't know. I should have come up with one for you.
Same?
Sure. We're both short.
Right.
Enough
Right.
for that.
Yeah. Well, do you want to give movies a grade?
I give this one a B+.
I was going to give it a B-.
There you go. I give this one a B+. Solid movie. Solid first act, second act, third act film with good acting and forgettable enough lines where you can enjoy it once.
Right. I give it a B- because, like I said, good movie, follows ABC. You know what's going to happen, but it's fun the whole time. It has Ryan Gosling, it has Emily Blunt. It's a great time every time.
There you go. So thanks for watching the Boltage Bros podcast, and comment what you thought of the movie and if we forgot anything in particular. And we love you.
And please like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.